Well, well, that wasn't very nice. Killing an innocent man. You're one ruthless son of a bitch, aren't you? Tell you what, old Harv's got a password on him. Take it and use it to unlock the control terminal and power up the Nuka Express. The monorail will take you to Nuka World. If caps and killing are your thing, I got the offer of a lifetime for you. But only if you think you can handle it.
While exploring the Commonwealth, we receive a broadcast from a place called Nuka World, an old pre-war amusement park. We take down another interested group in the Gunners before being trapped on a monorail and sent on our way. A man named Porter Gage greets us over the intercom and tells us to trust him. The sole survivor doesn't have much of a choice, but he isn't deceiving us. And by taking out Overboss Coulter, we are made the new Overboss of Nuka World. Gage wants to see the three raider gangs become stronger and ease the tension they have with one another, as they are all cramped up in Nuka World USA. He tasks the sole survivor in claiming the various parks and planting a flag for a gang. But these parks have their own difficulties. Dry Rock Gulch was the beginning of the park's expansion and is an old western town. The workers there would perform plays, operate a saloon, and help kids wrangle up giddy-up buttercups. The center point of the town is the mine attraction. But it's become a breeding ground for bloodworms, creatures who jump out of the ground to attack. They are repelled by Securitron deputies, who can only wait for the next sheriff to walk through its walls. The Galactic Zone brings a taste of what the future could hold for the American people. Sadly, that dream would never come to pass with the War of 2077. We can explore Vault-Tec propaganda, observe pre-war military superiority, and witness the dreams of exploring the stars with Nuka Girl. All the while we uncover the chaotic past with dead survivors of the Raider invasion and the Galactic Zone's robots, who've come back to life. Kitty Kingdom is the decaying remnant of Nuka World's child amusement park. All that remains now is a thick haze of radiation, hiding the former workers turned ghouls. A glowing one named Oswald the Outrageous lives amongst the ferals, trying to help them recover, and waiting for his lover to return. But for now, he does his best to keep the outside out. Safari Adventure was Nuka World's attempt at a zoology park. Although it's a quite popular attraction, the park held a strange scientific secret. They wanted to clone animals, and while being successful, it created the Gatorclaw, which now infests the park. The only bastion of civilization being a gorilla habitat, and a strange man, waiting to destroy the source of the clones. Lastly is the World of Refreshment, operating above the bottling plant. The boat ride attraction is going to be interrupted by Nuka Lurks, Mirelurks who've been altered by Nuka-Cola Quantum. We learn about the refined and fake invention of Nuka-Cola before facing off against the nuclear queen at the back of the plant. And with that, the ability to claim the point, like all the others, for any Raider faction you choose. First off are the Disciples, who hang their hats on the idea of thrill killing. They justify their bloodthirsty and sadistic measures just because they choose to be that way. The Disciples by most resemble the Raiders the sole survivor fights across the Commonwealth. Even so, their bloodlust is more extreme than any we find. Nisha keeps her gang docile to the others, but no one can stay still for long. So their only rule? Don't get caught. The Operators are the most sophisticated group of raiders in Nuka World. This is because of their leader Mags Black, a former high-end resident of Diamond City. She took the more corrupt side of Nelson Lattimore's ideas and formed her gang along with her brother William. After being forced to leave the Great Green Jewel, they joined the ride with Gage. Their more professional look, mixed with an ensemble of ammunition, makes them quite a force to behold. Killing isn't their main goal, instead they want caps for their service, which is a reasonable goal for the year of 2287. Finally, the Pack, a group of savages led by their leader Mason. He's the alpha of an animalistic group, much like a pack of wolves. Their members are identifiable by their colorful outfits and bizarre face paint. They don tattered clothes and animal masks. While they don't exactly look dangerous one-on-one, the more you have, the scarier it gets. There is no canon ending to Nuka World, but we are given two possibilities. The first is to follow Gager's request as the Overboss and claim the various parks and give them to the three groups. Because of you, the Raiders get ambitious. They want to retake the Commonwealth and task you to raid settlements for living space or extort them for food and supplies, ruining your reputation with the Minutemen in the process. Over land disputes, one faction is going to be frustrated and eventually turns on the other raiders. Their leader climbs to the top of the power plant to try to stop you from activating the park. They are no match for the sole survivor, and they activate the park. The second is less climactic. By killing all of the raiders in the park, you liberate the slaves in the marketplace, giving them control of the park. You can restore power to the parks and take them back one by one. The Nuka World lays empty, and eventually will fade into every other ruin that inhabits what was America. The sole survivor is given a chance at real power to lead an army. Whether they destroy that vision or use it is entirely up to you. As most Fallout stories go, the choice is really up to you. And when we take the train back to the Commonwealth, we remember the utter chaos and randomness we just experienced.
Let's take a step back and talk big picture, okay? Nuka World. This was the dream. Huge. Built like a goddamn fortress. You run this, world is yours. This place is huge. Divided up into sections. Parks, whatever the hell they called them back in the day. We need to take them all back, one at a time. Every section we secure gives us a little more breathing room and more resources. You stake a claim, plant a little flag for one of the gangs, and that settles it. It's theirs for good. Who gets what, that'll be your call.